sun. Bad country barbecuing, man, we try to have fun. Trailer park beauty queens, posted up, smoking blue.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the RCX show. We got a special guest today, but before we get into it, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, that like, drop us a comment, follow me at RCX, at official RCX on all social media platforms, and make sure you stream that new single that we just showed you a clip of that to Texas out here in the intro. Now, today I have to just make some fucking big noise for my awesome fucking special guest, a fucking huge influence on not only me, but fucking Southern rap across the board, Mr. Collipark. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Great, man. How you feeling?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm fantastic, bro. I'm enjoying the day, trying to make the best out of a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? So
That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, we feeling good over here. Real quick, before we get into it, man, please give everybody your plugs.
Collipark, let's go. That's on IG and Twitter. I'm not really big on TikTok. I don't even know what my TikTok. I think it's DJ Mr. Collipark on TikTok. I think that's it.
Slack over there too, bro. I get you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm showing my age now.
Oh shit. Well, hell yeah, man. Well, thank you for joining us. And look, I got a lot to dive into. A lot of people are excited about this, dude. I gotta say, so thank you for joining me. And like I said, you're a huge influence on fucking not only Southern hip hop, but me, of course, man, as a producer, as an artist. Like, man, you really have a big impact. Like, you are responsible for so many of like just the biggest fucking songs out there that still get played. You know what I'm saying?
That's my blessing that they still get played,
bro. And it's dope. Like, look, a lot of motherfuckers say that they can still get played in the club, right? A lot of motherfuckers say that, hey, I still get played on the radio, but not a lot of motherfuckers can say I still get played at weddings, bro. Come on. You're out here fucking killing that shit, bro. Like, look, I was a DJ, right? I was a DJ for the longest time, man. I used to do weddings and shit like that.
Okay.
So I bust out the fucking wobble.
Right.
I bust out fucking Get Silly. I would bust out fucking booty, rocking everywhere, out all the fucking time, dude. Like, what does that feel like to have just like be able to touch fucking generations with the shit you've made?
You know, when it really hit me is when I don't know where I was, but I started thinking about the records that I listened to when I was a kid that my mom grew up on. Yeah. And that's like Motown shit.
Hell yeah.
So like they grew up listening to Motown and Marvin Gaye and stuff like that. And so when it hit me that my music is that now.
Yeah, dude.
Because it doesn't feel like I don't feel old.
No,
but it's kids now that music was made 20 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some of that music made 2020. Whistle While You Twerk came out in 99.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got high school and college kids that still make TikTok videos to ay.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Dude. Hell yeah.
So, man, I never thought that I would be in a position to sit up there with the people I looked up and grew up to. The artists, those old school R&B and artists back then.
Man, of course, and even in hip hop, like you have to like, man, I just can't imagine how it like you're on that Dr. Dre level. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on that Dr. Dre level with your shit. No, I'm just saying, like with your shit being legendary. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on that Dr. Dre level, bro. Come on. Hell yeah. No, dude, it's fucking man, you made a fucking huge impact in this fucking game. So everybody watching this, I know they recognize that, bro. And I just got to give you your fucking candles, bro, your flowers, all that shit, bro. Seriously. Fucking honored to have you. So let's start off here. I know you got a new record coming out soon. So talk to me about that a little bit.
I mean, it's first of all, let's just say it's they call it country rap, country hip hop.
That's my genre, baby. I fuck with it.
I accept that, but I think it's just like saying the music we made was dirty South music. That's what that sounds like to me. Technically, it was dirty South music. Yeah. It is dirty South music, but it became so much more than that. Mm-hmm. So when I started, getting into the country hip hop, I'm still new in it, but when I see the talent that's in it. Like these artists are really, really potentially mega stars in this genre. So it kind of belittles them, in my opinion, to limit them to country rap.
Absolutely.
It's big. These artists are bigger than that. So I'll say, because that's where we are now, but I think we're going somewhere else. It's a country rap twerk song that I'm working on. That's on a country club project that I'm working on.
Man, that sounds like right up our fucking alley over here, bro. I'm just saying, bro. That sounds like fire, dude. I'll be looking out for that. Man, I've heard you. I'm not even gonna say the names on this thing unless you're okay dropping the names.
Well, we can talk about the first single. The first single is called "Twerking at the Hold Down" with the Ying Yang Twins.
Oh my god, yo, dude, I saw the video shoot for that recently.
Yeah,
were you there for that?
Put a lot of stuff up. And say what now?
I said, were you there for that?
That's my video.
Hell yeah,
that's
dude.
The first single. So
fucking stupid and a stupid question. I'm sorry. That's fucking fire, bro.
So that's Ying Yang Twins. I had to include them on the jump off record, but we went and got Big Murph. Shout out to Big XL for hooking it off. He's the one that turned me on to the whole genre. So he went and turned me on to Big Murph and Simple Man.
Hell yeah.
And so two super talented guys, and they jumped on it. And when I heard them rapping over my tracks, I was like, yo, it's something here. So then I just started making tracks and shit.
Hell yeah.
And sending them out to artists. And so the project, which will be called tentatively Country Club, it'll have some of the older crunk era artists mixed with the new country hip hop artists. So that's the concept of it.
That sounds dirty as fuck, bro. I don't know, man. That sounds like some dirty South shit right there. God damn it. Oh, no, that sounds hard as fuck, bro. I'm very excited about that project. That sounds like some dope ass shit right there. Some shit.
It is, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna do like 5 or 6 songs on the first project just to see how it's received or whatever. But I'm really excited about the first single. Like I say, Twerking at the Hold Down. It's just a true representation of the mesh of the two, where I come from and where this music is. So
and that name is ridiculous, bro.
That's how it came from the Ying Yang Twins. I played the beat for him, and before 4 bars could finish playing, he was singing the chorus to it. So
hell yeah,
it's just like a natural fit that I didn't know existed until Vic turned me on to it. So once again, shouts out to Vic.
Oh no, shouts out to Vic XL for setting this up, man. Riding Dirty Radio, and of course the Country Rap Report, which I'm a big fan of. I've been enjoying the fuck out of that lately. So shout out Vic XL for real. So I'm very excited to check that project out, but let's dive into it a little bit. A lot of people know you as DJ Smurf. So what got you into doing music? And I know you have a little bit of a band background and stuff like that, but like, what was it stepping into the realm of like hip hop? And I guess your first step, correct me if I'm wrong, but being a DJ.
Yeah. Actually, first of all, let's go to the very beginning. My father was a drum major in the marching band, and so was my oldest brother. I'm the youngest of 6.
Oh, yeah.
And so I looked up to my father and my oldest brother. So fast forward to my older brother would buy these 12-inch records when they started making singles. And so he just collected them, and I started messing around with his records before I even had turntables or whatever. And that just led into me DJing and stuff like that. I didn't want to tell you every little detail, but basically it's at home.
Dope. That's dope. Just tell me this detail though. What was your first DJ show? That's what I want to know. The gritty.
My first DJ show that I did, or the first rap show that turned me on. Which one you talking about?
I want to hear the first DJ experience.
Believe it or not, it was a pep rally. The one that really made me know that I wanted to do this shit. I was like a little local DJ that was in my mom's basement and shit. Yeah. And so I think it was either my sophomore year or my junior year of high school. I DJ'd a pep rally.
Yeah.
And it was this thing that I used to do on these mixtapes. Shouts out to Edward J, because I come from a mixtape crew, one of the first mixtape crews out of Atlanta. Actually the east side of Atlanta, Decatur, Georgia. The J Team, Edward J, MC Shy D, DJ Man, DJ Kizzy Rock, all old school. If you're from Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about. Player Poncho. But we would do this little thing on our mixtapes, and I did that shit live at a pep rally, and the fucking roof blew off.
Hell
And
yeah.
I didn't know the power of it until that moment, but that was when I knew, because I was still in high school,
Yeah.
that this was something. So from there, I just became a big mixtape DJ.
Hell yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about mixtapes later, but before we like you just mentioned that you're from Atlanta, and of course anybody that knows you knows that. But I've been to Atlanta a couple of times, and
College Park, to be exact.
College Park, exactly. Shout out. And
College
let me
Park.
ask you this, dude. I've been there a couple times, but the biggest thing about going on the road as an artist, and I don't know, you may or may not agree with this, but like the best part about going on the road is the food and finding the best
Well, that's
spot in
all
the
there
city.
is. That's all there is when you travel. The food. Yeah.
That's it. So answer me this, man. Like I'm a big food fan. Like when I come to Atlanta next, what is the spot that I should check out?
Oh man. Right now it'd be, to me, Slutty Vegan.
Okay. What they
Slutty
got
Vegan.
there?
That's a new upstart vegan hamburger spot. And it is really blowing up crazy right now.
Yeah.
So it's a young lady who went to Clark, Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. She started a chain of, I think she got like 4 locations now. It's been on the news, all kind of shit. But her, and I'm not even a vegan. I'm not a vegan. So
Okay, all right.
after hearing all this shit about it,
You
I
kind
went
of
over
scared
there.
me throwing that at me like it's a vegan place. I'm like, oh my
No,
god.
I'm not a vegan. So I'm telling you, it went crazy, right? So I
Yeah.
go over there. They put one downtown. I didn't know it existed. So I'm riding down Edgewood and I pass it. And it's like 12 o'clock at night and nobody's in there. Because the location that I know about is always a line down the fucking block.
Oh my god. I know those places, bro.
I'm not exaggerating. For vegan hamburgers. So
oh
I
my
go
god.
in.
What?
I go in and there's like 2 people ahead of me. So when I get up there, I'm like, yo, I can't believe nobody's in here, blah, blah, blah. I said, what's the burger that everybody gets? If this is my first time here, what do you recommend? And she said, you got to have the sloppy toppy.
I'll have the sloppy toppy.
The
Please.
sloppy.
Let me get like 2 of those.
No, one's enough, dog. Don't get greedy now. One's enough.
all right. Yeah. Us married men,
Yeah.
no. Yes, one's enough.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, I will be sure to check it out. One more time. What was that place called?
Slutty Vegan. Like a slut.
Love
Slutty
it.
Vegan.
God damn, that's the place I need to hang out. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
for sure.
Okay, so let me ask you this, dude. Like when it comes to producing a new track, what sparks your creativity generally?
It's funny. When I was younger, I was in the streets real heavy. So it would be stuff that I would see when I was out.
Mm-hmm.
And I messed with a lot of females back in the day. So, of course, if you know the type of music that I come from.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that music was just inspired by me being mannish.
Mhm.
So I got kids now, so I can't talk like I used to
Sure,
talk.
I got you, bro. I got you.
So yeah, it was just like being out. But now, funny enough, lately, like even with this this project that I'm working on, it's the technology and all these sources that you can go to for sounds.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
So a lot of it now is like me tapping into what these kids are tapping into.
yeah.
And because I'm a little older, so for me to sit here and just draw from my shit now, I might sign somebody's granddaddy now. But
yeah, I feel you.
When because they're all using the same shit. They're all using the same shit. So basically, I go onto some of these sites and I'm inspired by some of the sounds that are offered on some of these sites and stuff like that. But the way I use them aren't typical. So the way, because I'm a club guy.
Yeah.
My shit got to make you move, got to make you dance. Most of this music out now is just very somber and very even if the tempo is high, it's just still not like a what I provide is the feeling that you get when you go to an EDM show.
Fuck yeah.
In rap though, like that's the impact of my records when they drop in the club. They impact like those records do.
No, that's a fucking fact right there. And like, look, dude, you like I've been to a couple EDM shows, all right? Like you can definitely mix that. In fact, I probably heard a couple remixes,
Right.
you know, on that EDM shit. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
they,
no,
they
that's definitely
remixed a
where it's
bunch
at.
of my shit. So, but yeah, so you know, I take some of the stuff. You know, I'm going to some of that same stuff that these kids are using, but again, because my ear and my experience is different, when I regurgitate it back out of my Ableton, it's not gonna sound like what their shit sounds like.
Of course not. Of course not. Well, let me ask you this, in fact. So, like, you know, I'm friends with a lot of like up and coming producers and stuff like that. So I just wanted to ask you this because I know you've been in the game for a minute and shit, and you've seen the industry change. When you started producing, bro, like what was that like? Because I know, like, you know, a lot of us start producing and we're like starting with like Fruity Loops and shit like that. Like, did you have any DAWs that we were fucking with, VSTs at that time, or was it all like pretty
Oh
much
no, it's all hardware.
analog shit? Yeah, all
Yeah, when
analog
I
shit.
started, the original 808 drum machine was in existence.
Mhm.
So, you know, we couldn't afford that shit back in the day. So you had to find somebody, you had to know somebody who had equipment. That's what we called it back then. You had to have a physical MPC that costed, you know, upwards of $2,000, SP12 that cost like these machines, even the turntables, for you to have some Technique 1200s back in the day, you know, in high school, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we had to know. I actually knew guys that were older than me before I even, you know, when I started DJ. I don't know if you know who MC Shy D is.
No, I've heard you talk about him. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he was with Luke Records back in the day.
Okay, yep. Luke, Uncle
one
Luke.
of the original artists.
Dude, bass music. Come on, man.
So
Come on.
right. So he gave me my first drum machine when I started DJing for him.
Fuck.
So I couldn't afford it before
Yeah.
then. Yeah. So like, but when I had it, like I had people like Cooley C, who produced a lot of Kilo shit. Swift C, who's DJ for 112. Like it's a lot of people that aren't talked about that were part of the Atlanta culture before it popped.
Yeah.
So I come from good stock. Like I got a lot of good shit poured into me, like legends.
Hell yeah.
That I learned from. You know what I mean? So it was all hardware. So I would go over to somebody's house and I would have a couple of hours to beat up as much shit as I could. And then, you know, so by the time I got one, it was like somebody gave me $1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
The ideas in my head was, you know, I couldn't get them all out. And so, yeah, it was something special. Everybody couldn't produce back then because you couldn't afford that shit. And then if you didn't have no talent on top of that, nobody's gonna let you come over their house and fuck with their shit. No way.
Exactly.
Like, have some kind of talent, or else they'll tell you to get the fuck out. I'm telling you the truth. Like,
no, I believe you.
People let you come over. If you garbage, they be like, hey, man, this ain't for you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
I fucking get it. No, trust me. Like, yes, I had a laptop and fucking Fruit Loops back in the day.
Nah,
but I was like, bitch, no, you need to get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on.
I was damn near through with producing by the time Fruity Loops came out. Soulja Boy was the first person that I actually heard Fruity Loops from. You know, he did his whole first album on Fruity Loops. I had never heard of that before then. Yeah.
Bro, that was wild shit too. Like hearing that, like, God damn it. I think that motherfucker right there was the first person to make fucking steel pan drums cool. You know what I'm saying? Like now after that, you heard that shit everywhere except for Girls Gone Wild commercial was the only you remember Girls Gone Wild? That was like the only fucking thing you heard steel drums in otherwise before Soulja Boy.
Hey man. Well, yeah, so you know, even that, going back to the type of records that I've been affiliated with, huge club records, man.
Hell yeah.
Huge club records. But yeah.
That's fucking fire. That's fucking fire. So, all right, that jumps me on. Like, I had a question about the Ying Yang Twins because they've been a big part of my life since I was a little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And I've heard a lot about your history with the Ying Yang Twins. So, like, I don't want to ask you like a super basic question about it, but my question is like, what like made you discover them? Like, where did you first see them, and what like kind of inspired you to pick them up and work with them?
D-Rock actually had a huge song out called The Bankhead Bounce. D-Rock, so he was a solo artist. And we were on the same, I was an artist at the time. I had a record deal at Itchy Bun Records, which was an independent record label on the north side, actually Kennesaw, Georgia. That's where they were located. And he had a deal up there, and I had a deal up there. So we basically did a swap out.
Mm-hmm.
I did a track for him, and I wanted a feature on one of my albums, and that's how I met Kane.
Yeah.
So Kane was writing and making songs with D-Rock on his stuff. They weren't a group yet though. So when he came to do the song on my album, his cousin, who was supposed to do the record with him, for whatever reason, didn't show up, and Kane wound up doing it. And when I heard him, the magic that you hear now is what I heard.
Yeah.
And they weren't even rapping like that. They was like rapping more like street shit, but it was still party at the same time. So yeah, so when I heard it, I was like, yo, y'all need to make this shit a group. So on that album, the album's called Dead Crump, by the way. So we've been saying Crump a long time down here. So it says introducing the Ying Yang Twins on the poster for that album. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, no, that's fucking fire. And of course, like, I mean, the first time I heard him was Lil Jon, but then again, I was like fucking like 12 and shit when you guys came out. So
me and Lil Jon, we were cool. So we were like peers. Yeah. And so Ying Yang was like my little brothers. So they met Lil Jon when Lil Jon and Cersei, they were working on the Rhythm and Choir album, which had the song Shawty Swing My Way on it.
Yeah.
So they were doing a whole album with that. And DJ Cersei, who was down with BME and Lil Jon, they were working on the album. They was like, yo, we working on the song, blah, 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 blah. I said, yo, I got the perfect fucking group to do it. And we were on the phone. I called them on the three-way. And they played the beat. And Kane started rapping the fucking lyrics and it blew him away. And that's how that whole thing kind of started.
God damn.
And then D-Rock again was around town performing the Bankhead Bounce and shit like that. So
yeah, hell yeah.
He's always been a star.
Dude, that's a fucking that shit's wild. That shit's wild right there. Like, just purely because, like I said, I grew up with those motherfuckers. So that shit is wild to me. Like,
yeah. D-Rock was rapping when he was like 15. Like, he was in the Outkast Benz and Beamers video doing the Bankhead Bounce back then.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. So you're a record executive, a fucking label owner and all that shit. Let me ask you this from a fucking like top level motherfucker in the game. When it comes to signing artists, what do you look for generally?
Well, I don't really do that anymore. But when I was, and honestly, I haven't felt that thing that you feel when you know you want to work with somebody until I started hearing some of these country artists, because I was actually pleasantly surprised at the pride that they take in the art.
Yeah.
You know, so when you hear some of these verses and these songs that are being sent back, it's just nobody has to ask you to give them a record deal.
No.
You go to them. When you hear it, you tell them, yo, I want to work with you. I want to sign you. I want to. So that it's just that it thing that you hear it. When you hear it, you just know it. I've yet to sign somebody who came begging me for a record deal. It never works like that. You know, when you're ready, people will seek you out. If you got to beg to get on, then you're not ready yet.
Hell yeah.
You ready to come around the studio and sweep up and go get drinks and shit and be around people and get knowledge, and you know, but you're not ready for the deal, because when you're ready, somebody gonna tell you, they gonna tell you ready.
I like that. So let me ask you this then. So what are you seeing as some weaknesses that like in common amongst a lot of these artists out here, like in their game?
Disloyalty. There's no loyalty. You know, the team that you come with, that's the team you should lead with. And what I think that a lot of artists don't realize, sometimes you can outgrow the people who you start with, but I think the misconception is that you get rid of those people to move on to bigger and better things. No, you just add pieces to the team.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get rid of the guy, because that guy knows you and what makes you tick.
Yeah.
And what got you there. So you don't get rid of him to go get somebody who's just gonna capitalize on what this guy helped you build. Because it's not gonna be. Sometimes it works. But most of the times it's not the same. And a lot of teams that you see very successful, they're with the same people. One or two of the same people that they started with are somewhere in the camp.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's the mistake that a lot of artists make. They get rid of people instead of adding people.
Hey, no, dude, that's fucking game right there. Everybody fucking pay attention to that, because like, goddamn, I feel like that's a big problem within like just the independent scene as it is. Like, everybody's quick to cut and run on motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially they've been there since the beginning. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, the people that are smart about their business will succeed, and the people that are weak about their business or make fucking fucked up, you know, decisions, like, they'll fucking reap what they sow, I guess, right? You know?
Yes, most of the time. Yeah, sometimes the bad guys win too.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess, right? So let me ask you this. Being one of the bad guys, no, I'm kidding. So what is it like being part of a being actually the motherfucker that runs a label? What is that like? And a successful one at that.
You come to realize that at the end of the day, the same way you looked at Universal and Atlantic and whatever those big situations are, you become that to the artist that you sign. You know, you're the man, and I don't mean that in a good way. Because a lot of times artists just don't understand big picture. You know, so the hard part for me, because when you're involved in the actual creation of the music as well as running the shit, it's a slippery slope that you have to. I mean, it's hard, man. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That's why a lot of artists who run labels don't succeed. That's a hard thing to do, to have to be creative and then be the boss.
Yeah, be the bit. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's actually one of the next questions I was going to ask you was like, how do you separate the business from the creative? Because you're a producer.
I had to do either or. I had to learn to do either or, because you can't be effective. You know, we made music. We make music at a high level.
Yeah.
You know, and when you make music at that high of a level, if it's not that, then it shows. And when you're trying to run a label, you have to do that at a high level. So it's like when you're trying to do both, you can be cool doing them both, but you're never gonna be the shit. So when I started signing, Ying Yang was me doing both, right? But I was still more of a partnership, more so than me being a label guy. When I went and did my deal with Interscope and did Soulja and found Hurricane Chris and did the VIC stuff. VIC was actually signed to my brother's label, but I executive produced it. But when I started doing that stuff, I really more so put on my record person hat. Jimmy Iovine made me, a conversation I had with him made me really, because he told me how. Right, Jimmy, when I did my deal over there, because he had everybody signed over there. He had Timbaland had a deal, Pharrell had a deal, Swiss had a deal, Polo the Don had a deal. He had all the producers over there, but none of them were making records. None of them were. So here I come now. You know, I'm fresh off of Miss New Booty, fucking Ying Yang Twins. I'm off all that shit. Trap Star with Jeezy, David Banner play. I'm just hot as fuck. But he told me, most producers, when they do deals, they give all their records away. So you got a label deal that can make you rich, but you're in the studio, but you're giving all your big records to, you know, other artists.
Yeah.
So when you're driven by that, you can't run a label. Because that label, that's a little more work. The back end is more. But when somebody giving you thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for a track,
you're not
gonna say, nah, I'm gonna give it to a Soulja Boy.
I know, right? You're like, all right, I'm gonna get that bread.
Right, an artist that ain't even out yet. Nobody knows who he is, you know. And so at that moment, I said, I want to be one of the guys over here that really make a dent. And Soulja was the guy.
Hell yeah.
That really made that happen for me.
Hell yeah. But we're gonna get right back into it. And I know previously you brought up Soulja Boy, and we're gonna talk about him in a second because I'm very excited to talk about him. But first off, I want to ask you about VIC because that dude, I have to say, your collaboration with that dude plus Big XL, y'all had to have dropped the greatest fucking dance song of all time with that one.
Really?
That's, I mean, hey, look, as a wedding DJ, I have to say yes.
Yeah. All I can tell you is, out of every song that I've ever produced, I can honestly say that was a team effort. Everybody from my good friend and attorney had hands on in that record. He suggested that we put Frank Ski on the record.
Hell yeah. All the shorties in the club, never see. Yeah, come on.
My whole production team, from doing vocals and playing keys, and my brother overseeing, part of it. And it was just so many hands in that record that nobody knew. Actually, it flopped when we put it out. It flopped when we put it out. But I can tell you, when we turned the album in and went out to LA and sat in the meeting with Warner, the staff at Warner Brothers, we had some other records that would have been a better follow-up to Get Silly.
Yeah.
And when they heard Wobble, they felt whatever we put into that song, that was the song that they gravitated to. And they loved it. And it just, when we put it out, it was such a big departure from Get Silly.
Yeah.
And I had the whole Soulja Boy thing going on. But that was part of me, again, because I produced Get Silly. I did Wobble too, but I was trying not to think as a producer. I was trying to think as like, this is the best song.
Yeah.
And we tried it, and unfortunately and fortunately, it flopped. But the dance brought it back. The line dance brought it back.
On a next fucking level, dude. Look, that fucking, once again, bro, you are fucking transitioning. Fucking, you're not transitioning. Fucking, you are fucking just, you are out of hip hop. You're a fucking legend in just fucking everybody's mind, dude. Like, the Wobble is fucking legendary as far as like people dancing. You know what I mean? Like line dances and all that shit. Like, that shit gets played everywhere, dude. So
it does. Dude, overseas, when I'm on vacation. And
what is it like? What the fuck is that like, dude?
I'll just be sitting there because people don't know, I'm not on TV, like I was 10 years ago. So I'm just sitting there at the bar drinking or whatever. And all of a sudden you hear, oh,
yes. And everybody runs to the dance floor, bro.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a blessing, man. Because again, you never think that you're gonna be that guy with that song.
Right.
When you start out doing this shit, you just happy to have a deal with some shit. And then to wind up like that, 10 years, 20 years after the fact, your records are still getting played, man. It's incredible.
That's fucking legendary. That like not even on a hip hop level. That's fucking legendary status on like you're getting played on the electric slide fucking level. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
it is.
God damn it, man. That's like some shit that like many people only dream of ascending to, and you got it. That's fucking fire.
You know what? What's crazy, when I break down the influence that I've had, it starts way back in the Miami bass days. People don't realize, but even the song "My Boo" that came out on the So Def Bass All Stars, the producer from the South Side of Atlanta, Carl Moe, when I met him, he told me, "Hey man, your mixtapes inspired that song."
Hell yeah!
So we would take slow songs like ballads, love ballads, and mix them with Planet Rock and shit like that. So when you listen to My Boo,
yeah, hell yeah.
When you listen to My Boo, that's all My Boo is. It's a ballad with a Planet Rock beat up under it. So my influence goes back to my DJ days. And then you fast forward to that, then Ying Yang, their influence is so huge. And what we did, their catalog, if you remove their catalog, which would include Get Low as well. If you remove that,
hard,
if you remove that from hip hop, there's a whole era that's not there.
Bro, yes. I mean, dude, look, we can't fuck around. Like, we can't. There's a lot of hip hop purists out there that get mad about the crunk era. But bro, you can't get mad at that. What the fuck? That's like getting mad at the 90s.
That was
That's
the
like
best
getting mad
era.
at games. Bro. Yes.
That was the best, man. Especially for Southern rap. That era defined Southern rap.
That was the breakout. That was the breakout.
No disrespect to Organized Noise, because their impact was incredible. But if you take Lil Jon and the Ying Yang Twins and the Young Bloods and Bone Crusher out of the, even David Banner, even though he's from Mississippi, he was influenced and was a part of that shit. Pastor Troy, if you take all that shit out of the game, then the South doesn't have the run that we went on.
Bro, that's a fact. I mean, look, you guys, like, at the end of the day, like, not even the South, but Atlanta in general, you guys breed so many dope ass MCs. Of course, we talked about T.I. already. Like, we might have talked about T.I., I don't remember. But of course, we got Ludacris too. Like, look, at the end of the day, the fucking the Atlanta scene in general continues to dominate, and they always had like 15 last fucking 10 to 15 years. Fucking domination, maybe even 20, bro. Like it's dope, man. It's dope. So let me ask you this, because you already kind of brought up my next question, and I was gonna ask you, as a DJ, a producer, and a label executive, do you feel the mixtape is still relevant? In these times, no.
The mixtape was it. That was everything. I don't even consider. The mixtape doesn't even exist anymore. You could do mixes and put them up online, but it's not the same.
No.
A mixtape was where you went and got the music that nobody was playing yet. The next shit. But not only was the music new, the DJ actually mixed that shit up in a way that you still would have to go buy the artist's album. After you heard a great mixtape, you could, like, this is my favorite mixtape ever. If you heard the song on there, you still would have to go buy the artist's album.
Yeah.
So now the mixtape is just it's really an album. Labels are now literally putting out albums, and just to mess with the psyche of the consumer, they'll put mixtape on it.
Yeah.
But it's still an album.
Yeah, I mean, look, what I've seen is, like, I've seen on the underground scene, I've seen like people put out mixtapes, and it always seems like to be the B-side type shit. And it's like, at that point, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's the mixtape back in the day was the underground shit.
Yeah.
But that nobody was up on yet. The grimy, the shit that you couldn't get on the radio.
Yeah.
That's where you had to go to the mixtape. So I say it again, the mixtape doesn't exist. Not the true sense of the mixtape. There is a version of what they're calling a mixtape now, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the lesser version of the album at the end of the day, like a demo. If it, in the rock world, a fucking demo. You know what I'm saying? Like the unmixed shit. Hell yeah. Well, dude, fucking that being said, let me ask you this question. I was doing my research. I saw in a fucking interview you did with Billy Hume. What is it? Billy Hume?
Hume, yep, that's my guy.
Billy Hume, yeah, that's what's up. And he said he asked you this. He said, what makes a great manager? And you said, what makes a great manager is not getting in the fucking way. And my wife just fucking cracked up about that, because like we felt like that just resonates in whatever career you're in. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because when you just said that, I was waiting to hear what you said. I said because I couldn't remember. So it's so many answers that you can give to these questions. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day when you ask. But that's some real shit that I said though.
Dude, it really was like, that's why we were like, yeah, bro, we fuck with that. This dude hard, bro. He knows what you're talking about. Like, no, but like at the end of the day, let me ask you this question, because like in my scene, we're out here in Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth area. You know what I mean?
So I don't know if you know, but I signed Trilly and Prince Rick.
Oh shit.
That throw it off, walk around the club, fuck everybody. That's Collipark. Like,
hell yeah.
We signed them, and Mr. Hit That Hole. I don't know if you know about that song back in the day.
Hell
I think Mr. Hit That is on the radio station out there now. But the Walk Around the Club, fuck everybody. Yeah, that was after Soulja Boy, and I left Interscope. So that was my last like independent release. But that group was from Dallas.
Hell yeah. That's fucking what's up. It's it's them and the people that did the stanky leg from out here. Like that's our people. And Mr. Pookie, you can't fucking deny Mr. Pookie. But fucking hey, dude. So let me ask you this. What are as far as I don't know, dude. I see fucking younger fucking artists always getting like roped into being managed by fucking, I don't know if you can call them veteran artists in the game or what, but what are your thoughts about artists managing artists?
Man, that's tough, man. If you got a veteran in the game, who's been around and knows, because you got to think when you're new in the game, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
That to me, that would be situational. Because if you're an artist still trying to be an artist and you're gonna take opportunities away from your client because you want them, that's a conflict of interest.
Definitely. Fuck yeah.
So if you're an ex-artist or if you're an artist that's okay, like you just doing shows or whatever, and you truly want to be a manager, if that's truly what you want to do, then it could be actually beneficial. Because essentially, I'm an ex-artist, but I wasn't trying to be an artist anymore, though.
Yeah,
so
makes sense. Yeah. So, I mean, just out of your experience as being a fucking music executive, what makes a good manager?
First of all,
besides someone staying the fuck out of the way.
I mean, you got to have something to manage. Like if you ain't got nothing to manage, then it defeats the purpose to begin with. So a lot of people think they need a manager and don't have nothing to manage. So if you're still at a level in your career that's premature to you needing a manager, then you don't need a manager. What makes a good manager is your Rolodex.
Who your network.
Yeah, that's basically, because the manager gonna have an assistant to keep your schedule and shit. And he ain't gonna do that shit. So the manager is basically the Rolodex. Because if you can't bring nothing to the table for an artist, if you just picking up the phone, then that's why you have your mama can do that or your cousin can do that.
Yeah,
if you just fielding phone calls and like for instance, I didn't even know I was managing Ying Yang. I never was an official manager for them. But because that was my first group and I did everything surrounding their early projects. I mean, I did the studio work, I booked shows, I dealt with the DJs, I did everything. I essentially was their manager, but I wasn't an official manager. I wasn't charging a management fee, none of that shit. We were just out here grinding.
Yeah.
So but because of my relationships through my DJ Smurf days, I knew everybody. I could pick up the phone and call music directors and program directors, and I just had relationships, so I was managing them. But if Cuz come in and say, "Hey, man, he don't need to manage y'all, let me manage y'all," and I would ask, "Well, what the fuck is he gonna do that I'm not doing?"
Right? Exactly.
He can't do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting him in the door. What the fuck?
Right. So yeah, it's basically your connections, man. And first of all, you got to have something to manage. That's what a lot of artists get twisted. You don't even need no fucking manager. You just go into the studio every day. So I need a manager to manage what? What is he managing? If you ask the average person that what are we managing here? What's so out of control that you need somebody to manage it for you?
Right. Are you really that famous, bro? Come on, like you got everybody hitting your phone up.
Is your phone ringing off the hook so much that when you can't handle it? Like, what's going on?
Oh shit, I got a show on Friday, but I got a show on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Right. Right. So you know.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you this question because you brought him up. You brought him up earlier, Soulja Boy. So let's talk about him for a second. Like, look, that motherfucker was popping off when I was in high school, and I was like, "What the fuck is it? What I didn't know what the fuck was going on." Shit, it was like
Nobody did. Nobody
first
did.
fucking viral. Like, it was viral before viral was viral, bro. Like, so like, how did you come across that dude?
Somebody turned me on to him. Two different people from two different walks of life turned me on to him. And so when the second person turned me on to him, I was like, oh shit, that's the same kid that he turned me on to. So that's when I was like, and I didn't know much about MySpace and all that shit. So when I really started looking him up, and I had never seen anything like that. You know, when I saw what we take for granted now is, which was a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen a fan base on a computer, and like he had little girls writing his name in the sand, like putting up pictures on MySpace back then.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so I had never seen no shit like that. This was before I signed him, and so I jumped my ass on the plane and went to Batesville, Mississippi, and I signed him up.
Hell yeah.
So the video, if you look at the Crank That video, that's kind of how the shit happened. Because when I was doing my research on him, I was asking all the little kids that I would run into, have you ever heard of Soulja Boy? They had heard of him and A-Rap. So they knew, they actually, a lot of them like A-Rap, the little girls like A-Rap more than they like him.
Yeah.
You know, so, but most of the kids, when I asked them if they had heard of Soulja Boy, they knew, but no adults had ever heard of him. No adults knew what the fuck it was.
Oh yeah.
So the video, I wanted the video for Crank That to actually mimic how I found it.
Hell yeah.
And if you go back and look at the Crank That Soulja Boy video, that's basically how it happened.
Bro, and like, look, he's got like, the fact is he touched at least my fucking intermediate fucking generation, like my school and shit, like so much more than just Soulja Boy. Like, we had motherfuckers doing the she got a donk. Like they had motherfuckers dancing to that shit at my fucking high school graduation and shit like that.
Now
Like,
I will say that Donk was probably my biggest influence on him musically.
Hell yeah.
Because when he did the first album, all his songs were low tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, that Beyonce had an album out that was killing shit. And I was like, you need a song that can mix with that shit. You know, people my age, like you need, and he did that shit right there on the spot.
Salt, shake it, salt, shake it, salt, shake it, salt,
Right.
shake it.
So,
Yeah,
so
fuck
if you
dude.
look at it, Donk is really like his only song that you can play up in that tempo with the Ying Yang shit. And that's why.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, dude. That shit was out of fucking control, dude. Like,
yeah.
At that time, bro, it was wild, man. It was fucking wild for real. But
that first album is a classic, though. If you go back and listen to that first Soulja Boy album, you be like, damn, I forgot about that song. Damn, I forgot about that song. Yeah.
Dude, you know what's wild too is like, man, fuck. I don't even know where he's from, but like I swear Texas claims that motherfucker like no other. Yeah, he from Texas. You said he was from what, Mississippi or some shit?
No, he was born in Chicago and raised in Atlanta. And then he went to Mississippi.
Man, everybody said from like Houston or some shit when I was coming out. That's wild as fuck.
His mother lived in Atlanta, and he was living with his dad when I signed him in Mississippi.
That's wild as fuck because, like, I swear to God, we always thought he was from Texas down here, bro. We were like, Soulja Boy from Texas, bro. I know. It's disappointing, bro. It's
yeah. Nah, I've never heard that one.
So when you find out about Zero getting his ass whooped, no, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Nah, we ain't going into that.
We ain't going there. I love Zero. No, shut up. I'm just joking. But all right, let me ask you this question. We're getting close to wrapping it up, so I got a couple questions I generally like to ask all my guests that come on. But in this situation, I would ask you this as a producer: what living artist do you want to work with that you haven't the most?
Probably Pharrell.
Okay.
He's an artist and a producer. But
Oh, yeah.
Pharrell, that motherfucker there is out of this world.
He's fucking cold, bro. Like, I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. Like, look, I first, like, I'm gonna show my age here, and I'm gonna be like, the first time I ever heard Pharrell rapping was on Drop It Like It's Hot. You know what I'm saying? Like on Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I probably heard him before. Fucking yo girl was looking at me. Nothing. That's right. No,
I'm gonna tell you a little story. Drop It
Tell
Like
me.
It's Hot. Drop It Like It's Hot is what inspired me to do the Whisper song.
Oh fuck, really?
Yeah, that was I love that record. That was around the same time. I played that record a gazillion times, and that was what was in my head when I was doing the Whisper beat.
Oh my goodness. I you know what? I could kind of hear that now, actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking fire, bro. Like, yeah, no, it's wild as fuck. Like, look, that's one of those ones that got me into hip hop at the beginning. So
Yeah, that's a great record.
Hell yeah, no, it really is. It really Pharrell, hell yeah, dude. That's dope, man. I feel like you guys can make some fucking magic happen for real.
Yeah,
so.
Pharrell is the god. He's the god.
Hell yeah, Virginia meets fucking Atlanta. Come on, son.
Yeah.
That'd be wild as fuck. Let me ask you this question, because like, look, we can't deny that the Atlanta fucking music scene, as far as hip hop goes, dominates. So like, what is your opinion on that? Do you think that people that aren't from Atlanta, aren't fucking with Atlanta DJs, should fuck with the Atlanta style, or should they more stick to like creating their own for their particular like region, city, whatever? Or is it cool that they're fucking with the Atlanta style?
I think Atlanta, there's a brand here that is a line of t-shirts and it says Atlanta influences everything. So I feel like our fingerprint is all over everything right now.
Yeah.
So I don't care where you're from right now. You sound like you can't even tell where people are from no more. They're saying their words like us. It's broken English. It's everything. Like everything that we do, from the sonically, the production, everything is influenced by Atlanta. So having said that, I think every region should support their own. So sonically, if you're making the music, I say be yourself. I hate the fact that everybody sounds like Atlanta. To go past what I just said, I hate the fact that everybody sounds like everybody.
And I agree with you on that. I agree with you, sir, because like, look at it this way. Like, look, the greatest rapper to ever come out of Texas, Pimp C, would have said this. He would have said, yo, you got to be yourself when it comes to making this music, because that is who you are representing. You know what I'm saying? Like he was always saying, like, all these motherfuckers is trying to act like, whatever the hottest motherfucking city is, but like they're fucking up by doing that because they're not representing their people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, I appreciate you saying that, sir, because like, look, that's what everybody out here is trying to do, is they're trying to copy the hottest shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, at the end of the day, what are you really doing but copying? You ain't being you.
Well, that's what let's segue into what I'm doing now, which is why I'm so excited to be doing this country hip hop project, because it's different for me. I've not been inspired to do music for quite some time now, because I feel like when I listen to country records, like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a country music fan, but when I hear music, it could be country, it could be gospel, it could be whatever, I can still hear artistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, hip hop has lost that edge of artistry. Hip hop to me sounds like my son can walk in the door tomorrow and be like, Dad, I'm rapping now. And I'd be like, you ain't fucking rapping. And he could play me some shit he did at his cousin's house. Never been in the studio before. He could bring it and play it for me, and it'll sound just like the #1 record on the radio.
There you go.
That's a fucking travesty.
Yeah. No. Of course.
So what I like about the country rap, a lot of the artists actually are musicians as well.
Mm-hmm.
They actually sing. I mean, sing as well as rap.
Mm-hmm.
At least the ones that I've worked with so far. So there's a level of artistry that used to exist across the board with music in general. But
Hell
it's
yeah.
still the artistry aspect of country hip hop is a little bit. I think they take the artistry side of it a little more serious. The music side of it a little more serious.
Oh yeah,
And
no, dude, and I know I've seen you in the studio, fucking working with dudes playing like live
right,
acoustic guitar and banjo and shit like that. So,
right,
like, I appreciate that. Like, that's cool as fuck. Like, not to say
right.
anything against any other hip hop or anything like
No,
that. It's just cool to see. It's cool to see motherfuckers playing guitar while they're rapping. I don't
but
know. That's
but
dope.
let me tell you this: if I can pull this shit off that I'm doing now, it'll be my biggest accomplishment.
Mm.
It'll be because where I want to go with it, it's limitless. The
Mm-hmm.
possibilities are
Oh, for sure.
limitless. They're because the way I'm meshing the genres up.
Yeah.
That's what makes it. It's like I'm bringing people together that otherwise wouldn't be together.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
that's to me the magic in making these songs. That's what I feel when I
Hell
listen
yeah.
to these songs.
I fuck with that. Like I fuck with that. That's super hard, bro. I
Yeah,
like that. I like that.
appreciate it.
I'm very fucking excited about this project for real, bro. Like
Thank you.
you gotta make sure that I fucking check that shit out for sure. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Well, we
fucking
gonna drop the song first. I told Vic because it's the second song, the second single that I think that I'm working on now. The fucking song got 80 tracks on it.
oh hard. Bro,
So
I know. Like, look, I'm a producer too, dude. Every time I go into the studio to mix some shit, I piss the mixing engineer off because he's like, "Bro, this is like 100 tracks." I'm like, "I'm sorry, dude. You
so
gotta get each hit of the cymbal right." I'm
right.
sorry, bro.
So every like even with twerking on the twerking at the hold down. By the time we got everybody's vocals in and got all the live the guitars and the banjos and shit playing, I didn't even ask Billy how many tracks we had on that. But these sessions are massive.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I've never done sessions this big. And so I just feel like it's fun, it's exciting, it's a challenge. And I just hope that once we get this music to the world, that they can feel kind of just like what Wobble did. The work we put
hell
into that song,
yeah.
you hear it when the record comes on, you hear like, okay, this ain't somebody that just went into the studio and pissed on the mic.
No, I love it. That I'm very dude. You have no idea how excited I am, and I'm excited to hear that shit just to like, just to fucking be inspired by that shit. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm very excited. So I'm gonna be looking out for that
Thank you.
fucking hell yeah, dude. So let me last question. We're gonna wrap it up here with this last question.
Okay.
And this is one I asked everybody that comes on my fucking show, the RCX show. Everybody, make sure once again you subscribe to that shit. But what is your biggest rock star moment? And it could be like the biggest show you've ever done, like the craziest shit you've ever seen. Like on some Ozzy Osbourne, like crazy shit. I don't know, dude. It's whatever that
Damn.
is to you.
So you got to know me to know why that's a difficult question for me, because I'm so anti artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I can give you my proudest moment in this business.
Okay.
And it was
give me the least proudest after that. The one where you're like, I can't believe I did this.
Oh man. So my proudest moment is when Soulja went on tour with it was on his first album, and he went on tour with Bow Wow. It was Bow Wow, Lil Mama, and somebody else. It was, that whatever group of young artists that was. I know it was Bow Wow. I know it was Lil Mama. Was Chris Brown on that tour? Chris may have been on that, but it was like 3 or 4, and he was like the opening act. Maybe Lil Mama went on before him.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, at the beginning of the show, you have a very small portion of the stage that they'll let you use. In every subsequent act that comes out, they give you more room on the stage. So I remember he came out like second. They gave us no real estate on the stage. So it was like, fuck. So we had the biggest record in the world. We had the biggest song in the world. So I felt disrespect. So we put a show together on Soulja. Even though he had a dance, I put professional choreographers and we put dancers around him. And because I wanted him to, represent what we were doing to the fullest. And I never forget. We put that Atlanta talent show shit. I don't know if you go back that far, but we used to have talent shows back in Atlanta. And dance crews were real big here. The dance crew shit in Atlanta influenced the music. They don't talk about that a lot. But the talent show music scene in Atlanta is what fueled the music scene.
Hell yeah.
So some of the dancers, the old school dancers that come from that era, we had choreographed his show along with what he was already doing. So when he came out on this stage, and I can't remember what he did, but whatever he did, when it impacted fam, the crowd went fucking nuts. And that's the moment. That's the moment the hair stood up on my arm and I knew that motherfucker was a mega gazillion superstar that night. The opening night, where were we? We was in Columbus, Bow Wow's hometown, I want to say. And he kicked Bow Wow's ass on that stage that night.
Ooh, fuck.
That night.
That's wild. That's wild.
That's
wild.
Yeah. So that, to me, that moment right there, because I've always had an underdog mentality. Because we come from independent record labels and shit. We don't come from major budgets and deals. We've always had to work our way up to play with the big boys. And a lot of people don't know that about all the Ying Yang shit was independent. You know what I mean?
Hell
so
that's dope. That's fucking impressive as fuck right there.
Right. So everything that we did was from independent. Soulja was actually my first artist on a major label. And even within that, we didn't come through the door with the budgets that they were giving Swiss and Polo and all those guys. We came with the smaller budgets and the bigger songs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that was a special moment for me because I felt like all the shit that I had done in my career up until that point, it all made sense in that moment when I was looking at it on that stage, and it was like indescribable.
Hell yeah. That's hard as fuck. That's hard as fuck. Well, dude, Mr. Collipark, I really appreciate you joining me tonight. It's been a fucking honor talking to you, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I had fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, I hope we can set this up again in the future. Hopefully after your album comes out, we can talk about how that shit pops off. Fucking A, bro. But with that being said, please, one more time, give everybody all your plugs on social media and all that shit. Where they can check out the new album.
Collipark, Let's Go on IG and Twitter. That's COLLIPARK. Let's Go. And then you can go on TikTok. I gotta get my TikTok game up, man. It's DJ. I think it's DJ Collipark or DJ Mr. Collipark or some shit like that. But they jumping on me now, because we're getting ready to go into releasing this music, and they're like, "You're not on TikTok, man. You're not on TikTok, man." So we'll get it up though.
You gotta, man. Yeah, they're like, "Hey, get out there and get working, bro." Trust me, I know.
Right.
I feel like an old ass motherfucking man out here on TikTok game, bro.
It's all good though, man. It's all good.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, everybody, thank you for joining us today. Of course, hit that subscribe, like, comment on the video channel below. Follow me at official RCX on all official social media, all that bullshit. And check out the Two Texas Out Here video link below, all that. Mr. Collipark, thank you once again for joining me, man. And with that being said, it's RCX, it's Mr. Collipark, and we are out.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you joining me on this one.
Man, I enjoyed it.
Man, thank you so much. It's an honor talking to you. And hey, anytime you got something to talk about, feel free. Holler at me. We'll make it happen. All right.
For sure. Just drop that single when we put it out.
Absolutely. Hey, and I'll tell Vic, because we're not in direct communication, but I'll tell Vic when this drops, I'll send him the link to send to you so you can check it out and share it and all that shit.
Okay. You can just hit me on DM. You can hit me on DM.
All right, man. Hey, it's an honor, dude. I appreciate it. Dude, seriously, thank you. Like, no shit. Like, I'm a fanboy out for a second. You're a big fucking inspiration to me as a fucking hip hop producer, dude. Seriously.
It's your,
Like,
it's your.
I
You.
really appreciate this, man. You're
Man.
you're the shit, and I'm really honored to fucking have you on.
Thanks for the support, man. For
Dude,
real.
of course. I'm very excited to see what you have coming, man. Seriously. So
For
I hope
sure,
we'll
man.
talk again soon in the future, man. And with
We
that being
will.
said, dude, hey, much love to you, and wish the best for you and the family and this new project, bro. I know it's gonna kill it. When it comes out, be sure to make sure I know what's coming out. I'll share it fucking across the board, bro. Seriously.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
All right, be easy, bro. Much love
All
to
right,
you.
homie. You too. All right,
Peace
homie.
out.
Peace.